Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I would like to discuss, for me, maybe the most important aspect of the vegan lifestyle, like why I believe that it is so important. Um, of course, all other aspects are extremely important, but this is kind of a no-brainer. Um, yeah, like people always discuss health, not health. One can always try to counteract any argument, but this is kind of an argument that is hard to really deny. Is that it's all about kindness. It's not basically that is more than enough as a reason, and there is no need for anything else, basically. All other things, all other aspects are bonuses, but this is the one aspect that I believe we can all agree on fully. I hope that we all want to be kind to all beings. We don't want to hurt anyone, and by anyone I mean humans and animal people. In our heart of hearts, we're kind, compassionate beings. Sometimes we fall off the road, but we can come, like stand up again and walk the right path, the right way. And yeah, we make mistakes along the way, but all in all, we really want. All of us want to be happy. All of us wants to be peaceful and to to all beings basically. Um, and yeah, what happens with us is conditioning through from childhood. We are desensitized about many things, and yeah, our like flame of compassion, of kindness is kind of is turned down from childhood because of society ways. Because it's not the fault of our family, but our family themselves are conditioned by society. So it's kind of a cycle, and it's quite hard to break it. But once we understand it, what is the right way, then we should try to follow that instead. Um, yeah, like there are many children who don't want to eat meat and who even refuse to once they know what it is, what it is. But parents rarely, if ever, tell them what actually animals are, what the meat are. Um, that what is on their plate is an animal or their secretion, and that do not wish to give it. They do not give it because they want to, but because they have no choice. So kindness is one of the main aspect, I would say, of the vegan lifestyle. Kindness toward all beings. It's a wonderful, wonderful quality to have. It's a divine quality. It's a spiritual quality. Um, there's basically nothing greater than that, in my opinion, because that quality includes basically everything. Um, and yes, so the vegan lifestyle is not a trend and it's not a diet. It's not an identity. It is simply a choice to be kind whenever kindness is possible. That is what the vegan lifestyle basically is and mean, um, and all the other aspects just come in addition, because when one is kind, automatically other like positive aspects attached to it, like automatically. Um, even one's health will improve dramatically if one switch to a plant-based diet. But this is not really maybe the main reason to, in my opinion, to go vegan. It's just because of kindness. That's all. That's one word that summarizes everything. No need for anything else, basically. So if you can choose compassion over harm, then it's really we honor something that is in us, in our hearts, that is amazing, that is beautiful, that always is there, that always has been there, that will always be there. But sometimes life, like puts a veil around it. You know, if we put a veil over something very bright, well, it will not emit any light or very, very little light. Then as the veil is removed, slowly by slowly, we see that more and more light illuminates, and then when the veil is completely removed, then the light shines fully. And same thing with our own heart. Our heart is very, very bright, extremely bright, all of us, no exception, including all the animal people. But our heart has been veiled by possibly many veils, and we try to remove one by one. But it is possible. It is. It's not impossible. All we need to do is rediscover kindness. So yeah. So this is the presentation that talks about this. It's maybe an aspect that we do not think often enough. We often think about like the vegan lifestyle for environments, for health, for like social justice, all wonderful aspects, wonderful topics. But at its core, it's about kindness. Once we understand that, there is no way back. Once we understand why really we want to do it, we really actually want to do it. Our hearts wants to do it, but our mind is kind of blocking it, one could say. And yes, our hearts knows what's best, but our habits sometimes go against it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful path, the vegan lifestyle. It's one of the most beautiful paths that exists, in my opinion, in this world. Possibly one could say in this universe. It's not just about like not eating any animal people. It's about opening our hearts to all consciousness, seeing other beings as ourselves, that animals are not different than us, that we are just we are all part of nature. We are not separate from nature, and kindness is the key. Um, and what does it mean to be kind? It means that we wish others well. We do not wish to harm them in any way, directly or indirectly. Very important. Um, in words, thoughts, or deeds. Um, it's important to mention this direct and indirect. Most of us will not hurt any being directly. Um, like it's something that is not natural to us. If one does it, then it's one's consciousness will not leave persons who really harm others, like directly, and they will also repent at one time and understand that it is not the right way. But yeah, directly, why would you not hurt directly? Because it's very we see what we do, and we cannot see really violence. We cannot act on violence usually unless we are maybe intoxicated with alcohol, or drugs or whatever. Yes, or we have a lot of anger in ourselves, but it's usually most of us will not directly harm any being, be it animal or humans. But indirectly, unfortunately, in this world, this is kind of very widespread. Indirect violence is everywhere, and that is maybe most of the violence in this world that is kind of unseen by most of us, but it exists. When we let other people do things on our behalf. So when we hurt a being indirectly, it's basically the same thing as directly. At the same time, it's not the same thing because we don't see it, so we don't feel that bad about it. But behind the scene, what happens is basically the same, if not worse. Because we let other people do the violence on our behalf. And when we consume animal products, that's exactly what we do. We let the meat industry slaughter billions of innocent animal people, trillions actually, with all the ocean creatures, ocean lovely people, and we never think twice about it. And that's a pity. That's why we need to open our eyes, we need to open our hearts, and see reality as it is, as the Buddhists like to say it. And of course, not only the meat, but the dairy is an horrendous industry. One could say, I don't know if we can call it industry. It's like it's not an industry, but yeah, what we do to the lovely mammals, the cows and goats and whatnot, is unbelievable. It's not doesn't belong to our hearts. It goes beyond an horror movie. If one really knows what's going on behind the scene, most of us will not accept it. We will probably not say that. We'll probably say that it is not true, but it is. And also eggs, same thing. and honey and fish and insects, all of wonderful people that we just consume the final so-called product, and without realizing what they really are. So we should really see things as they are, as see reality as it is, like in Vipassana. That is the basically the idea of the meditation is really to open our eyes and hearts to reality as it is. That's the basically the goal of Vipassana meditation, like the Buddhist way. One of the Buddhist way, there are several. So yeah. So kindness needs no justification. We are just kind because we are kind. We don't want to harm any being. We don't like ask why compassion matters. It just it's like kind of a strange question to ask. Kindness is kindness. Compassion is compassion. There's no way of denying it by any of us, unless one wants just to debate endlessly, just for the sake of debating. We don't need to defend it or to prove it. Kindness is just is quality unto itself. Again, it's also not a position. We cannot. It's not something philosophy. Don't try to construct it. It is something that is very much alive. It's a life quality. Something we embody in our daily choices, day by day, breath by breath, one could say. Yeah, so this is why I believe the vegan lifestyle is so amazing, so wonderful for this, for ourselves also, for the animal people, for the world, for the evolution of our society, for the evolution of our civilization. Without kindness, what kind of civilization do we have? So we need to be kind to everyone, humans and non-humans. I mean, both, of course. Humans are, a lot of them are suffering from hands of other humans, unfortunately. And that's terrible as well. And the big part of it, I believe, also originates from the way we treat animal people. It's like the way we treat animal people is the way that we treat humans. One reflects on the other. If we are kind to the animal people, if we learn the values of strong ethics in our hearts, that animals are beings unto their own, and are not here to be our slaves, then it's not possible for us to hurt humans as well, because we also humans are kind of animal people. So we are also animal people. So if we say that we will not hurt any animal, that includes the humans too. And humans are wonderful animal, wonderful species, very, very promising. But promising is not enough. We also need to act on it. So, so we need to be kind to all beings, basically, and to see kindness everywhere. It's like to open our eyes to kindness, basically. If you want, replace the veganism by kindnism. If that speaks better to you. because it's the same. It's the same. We cannot really be fully kind if we hurt beings directly or indirectly, as we discussed before. Indirectly is just as bad as directly, just that we do not see it, so we do not feel we do not feel the consequence immediately, at least. We will feel it in our hearts, something will not be right, but we will not know really what it is that is not right. Once we remove all the violence and abuse from many our plates, we will feel much lighter, much more, much happier, much more aligned with our values. It will be like removing a veil out of a very bright lamp. Of course, there's always degrees of veils. One can always go further into this kindness concept. But all in all, the vegan lifestyle is the base for kindness. Yeah, I believe a vegan world would see no more wars, no more hatred between humans, no more poverty, no more malnutritions, people dying from malnutritions because we don't distribute the food well enough because of the animal agriculture, which uses most of the grains in this world for feeding their lot, their, and there's not enough distribution of food because of I will not say that we don't care. We all care, I'm sure, but we don't realize how great the issue is. This is not to say that all this is like is dark and like that all is bad. There are also many wonderful people, not necessarily vegans, who try to do their best to help people and even animals. But the problem is that one of the best way to help all people and animals is to go vegan. So, because of kindness, because it means to be kind to all beings. If one tries to help people but separate some species from others, that is just not right, and when like our lamp is not completely unveiled. We try to help people and even animals, but without being fully like doing what is required. Then maybe we will feel that something is not right, and we will not know what it is. But this is the reason, it's because we still hurts beings indirectly. That's the main concept. The indirect cause of suffering in this world is the biggest existing. Is absolutely gigantic, and we can choose either to be part of it or not. Like how many of us could kill a chicken and then eat the chicken? Imagine in a restaurant someone brings you a live chicken and then asks you to kill the chicken, and only then you can really eat the so-called fresh chicken. I mean, most of us would not accept it and would think this is outrageous and this is like an horror movie. Yet, if we receive a chicken in like in a beautiful laid out like products, one could say, and then one would just so-called enjoy it and laugh and whatnot, not thinking that actually it's exactly the same. One is just the direct approach, and one is the indirect. And we can clearly see that the indirect is basically the same because somebody had to do it for us. So that's why I say it's kind of worse than the direct. At least the direct way you see what you do, what you eat. I'm not sure that it is right, of course, but of course it's wrong, direct or indirect. But at least if one is doing it directly, then one is knowing what one does. And if one accepts it, then what can we do? Just something that needs to still understand the pain of others. But when you do it indirectly, we do not think about it at all. It is just like something that is out of our heart, like as they say, out of our view, out of our heart, something like that, or far from view, far from heart. So yes. So what can we choose? When we can choose, we just choose gently. We choose choices that reveals the heart. And in this world today, we can live without causing harm as much as possible. Sometimes it's not 100% possible, but we can certainly do way better than we do now. And we can access nourishment like beauty products, and we have a lot of abundance that we don't require anyone to suffer for us. So that's the gentler path. When harm is unnecessary, then kindness is not a sacrifice, it's a natural response. It's like a path that we choose between two roads or two paths, and we can choose the path that is the gentler one. It's our choice to be gentle, kind, or not. So it's vegan lifestyle is a choice to walk softly on this world, in this world, and especially when walking softly is possible. It's not like we are in a position where we just need to eat animals, where there's no plants. Maybe we are in a desert, nothing around us, and maybe we have an animal, I don't know, and then maybe we have to consume the animal because we have absolutely nothing, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's not, most of us are not in that situation, are we? So often we give arguments that yes, but these people they cannot do it, or those they cannot do it. But the question is what we can do ourselves. What do I can do? That's the main question that we should ask, not what others can do or cannot do. That's the that's the things. And even then, thinking nowadays, I mean, really, by far, most people can be vegan as much as possible. And yeah, and of course, vegan is not only a diet; it's kindness in all ways. So also, what we wear should not be caused by harm. So we do not wear fur. We do not wear cows. Not wear leathers. And also the beauty. All the products, care products, we don't want anything to be tested on animals. That's also a terrible thing. Like so many, the mice, I don't know how to say it in plural, mice or mouse, but all the mice, so many mice are suffer in this world on the hands of humans because for testing, so-called testing on animals for all kind of reasons, and there's not a single reason that is valid for testing on animals. Even for medical reason, we should not test on animals. There are ways to test in other ways, like testing even on plants, or new ways of testing, or nowadays with artificial intelligence, we can test it even virtually, and that is much more kind to all beings. And yes, animal people, they don't ask anything special from us. So beings on this planet, possibly much purer than humans, in hearts, in way of being. Like cows, they are very high level, compassionate beings that have a lot of feelings, a lot of love for their species, for their babies, and yeah, we should not think because we have intelligence that we are really high level. Level can exist in different forms. One is like level of kindness, of levels of kindness. What is our level of kindness of mankind compared to cows, for example? If we really reflect on that, we will see that we are not doing very well. Cows are infinitely more kind than us, and they really do. They do things without hurting any being. They try to be very kind. They just want to live, to eat grass, enjoy the sun, to love their families. They have friends as well, yes, and they play. They are very playful, and maybe most of all, they want to be left in peace. They want to be safe, comfortable, to have freedom, live in nature, and yeah, if they could ask, that's all they would ask, basically. Very simple things, very basic things that we ourselves want, that we ourselves need, and they are not machines, they are not products. So kindness listens to these so-called requests of the animals. If we really listen closely, that's what they ask from us. That we leave them alone, that we don't hurt them in any way. Maybe that we protect them. That is basically almost our goal on this planet, is to protect all beings, to be their not their savior, but their protectors, and we can do that if we want to. Some people do it by opening farm sanctuaries, for example, but there are not enough. Not enough such people and such sanctuaries. We can only help so much animals, but the problem is that the animal agriculture is so gigantic, so much pain, so many billions of animals killed every year and suffering, that all these farm sanctuaries are wonderful. We need them, But best would be for all the farms to become sanctuaries, for the world to become a big sanctuary, for the entire planet to become a place of kindness to all beings, a place where it is good to live. That if, for example, one from other planets want to come to holiday, they will think, oh yes, planet Earth, a wonderful place, fully filled with kindness. I want to go there for my holiday. That's the kind of planet that we want to have, that we need to have, that we want to develop. And I hope that's the kind of planet that we are moving towards. I believe we are on this path. We are not there, obviously, far from it. There are so few vegans in this world. For the moment, we are much more than in the past, most probably, but still not enough. But I hope that it will grow very, very fast. Yeah, because it's just all about kindness. So yes, kindness is quiet and humble. Often it is kind of invisible. We do not say that we are kind. We do not say that we are vegans everywhere. Like we could say it. I mean, it's good to make it visible also, so that people are curious about it, so that they ask, why are you vegan? But most of the time we are not shouting it from the rooftop. We do not need public recognition, but we just do what we do because we want to do it and because of kindness. So yeah, so when we choose oat milks instead of dairy, that's just because we want to be kind to the cows and goats. That's it basically. It's not that we want to be special. It's not that we want to stand out from the crowd, because it's not a trend. It's not like we wear some clothes just for a week or two and then we discard it. That's not the vegan lifestyle. That's not kindness. Kindness is just kindness, pure kindness. No, nothing to shout from the top, from the mountaintop. Nothing to even to be proud of. It's something that we should all be, basically. Something that our hearts is already made of kindness. What we need to do is not to become kind. What needs to do is remove the veil out of our already existing kindness. It's a bit of a mind shift. So yes, it's all about like the choices that we make every day, and there's a big cumulative effect of it. Each one of us that chooses kindness is helping the planet and the animals. So we should not think that we are like one being. What can we do? No, one being is very powerful. First, one being. I don't remember how many. Every being normally consumes about a couple of thousands of animals in their lifetime. So if one switch to a plant-based diet, so then those are like thousands of lives spared. And beside, one will influence many people, one's family, friends, workers. One could influence like through creating YouTube videos or any other kind of activism. Very kind. I mean, no need for very like hardcore activism. Not saying that is bad, but each one has their own way of helping the cause, one could say, helping kindness. And yeah, so kindness is all about also humility, being humble. Doesn't need acknowledgements. And yeah, peace is basically its own reward of kindness. To be peaceful, knowing very well that we do our best, that we are kind to all beings as much as possible. We always learn. Even being vegan is not the end. In a way, it's the beginning, it's the basis, and we can still learn a lot about kindness. For example, to talk um, without anger, um, to talk peacefully. That's also kindness. That's also, one could say, a vegan way of being. So yeah, so being vegan is is um, is something that that one learns during all one's life, but the basis is quite clear. And yes, so it's like compassion without conditions. It says like so kindness does not measure value. It does not calculate benefit. It simply says your life matters too. That's what compassion means, and kindness. That's very important, and we should all reflect on that. Your life matters too. That means we are compassionate toward all beings, animal people and human people, to all beings, to the insects too, and to the fish too, and to the birds too, and to the trees, even to the plants also, and to the flowers, and to the forests and the oceans. We are kind. We do our best. Yes, so we don't feel that beings are there for them to be useful to us. Usually in this world, um, basically animals are seen as products, like products that we can do anything that we wish with. So only if they are useful, then we yeah, but no, I mean, useful depends how we can see, like useful. So yes, it's like I mean, animals should not like help us in our scientific discoveries or anything in order to be worth of our protection and kindness. They do not to produce anything. They are just there for their own sake, because they are alive. They are beautiful species, and as I mentioned in the past, basically all beings are one, and basically seeing a pig as a pig, a cow as a cow, or a mouton as a mouton is an illusion. It is just an outer vest, other costume for awareness itself, which means that all beings are basically one, and we are all beings of divine beauty, divine kindness, divine compassion, divine light. And just seeing a being just because on the exterior they look different, and then we say that we can do anything that we wish to them because they look different, that is very wrong. Same thing in the human realm. For example, racism. Racism is also similar. Maybe we consider other beings because of their color of skin, then maybe they are worth less or more. So, like slavery came out of it, for example, um, which happily was dissolved. Which I think there's almost no slavery in this world except of the animals. But at least for humans, this was in the past. At some point, people believed that is normal, but then with time, it was recognized to not be normal. And yeah, so in humans realm, that's how it translates to that we divide beings by different, not only the colors of their skin, but also their what they believe in, their religion, or that did not believe, or if they believe in many gods or one god. Basically, who cares? It's just a belief. Let everyone believe what they want as long as one doesn't hurt any being, that is fine. And yeah, so animals are also different. One could have different skin color. It's not different. So for them, not only the color of the skin is different, and they look a bit different. That's the beauty of diversity. That's how we should. That's the correct way of seeing. So to see all beings as beautiful divine beings, that all are brothers and sisters. And there's no difference. And one could say that if one believes in God, that basically God incarnates in every being, no matter how they look. So when one sees a cow, one sees God. When one sees a pig, one sees God. When one sees a dog, one sees God. Or a cat, one sees God. And yeah, God hides in the heart of all beings. And when we hurt any being, then we are hurting God. If we really say that we love God, we should not hurt any of her creations, where she herself hides. Yeah, she's playing like she's a hide and seek in each heart. So every heart contains the beloved, and we are like playing a game where we need to find out like where she's hiding, and it's very playful, and she's in our heart, and but she also she hides in all hearts. She is in all hearts. So this is something that she wants us to discover, that she exists in every heart, in every being, in all beings. Doesn't matter what they look exterior, they are the same. So like when I see a very small insect, I try to really help that insect so I do not hurt him or her by mistake. Yeah, so for example, yesterday on my laptop, I saw a very, very, very small insect, and I was very afraid to hurt her. So I took like a tissue where she came on the tissue, and then I put her on the basement. Yeah, because otherwise, if I close my laptop, I could, not on purpose, but I could have crushed her, which would be terrible. Because that little being, that little insect is God, is same soul as me, same soul as you, as all beings. And that's how we take care of each other in this world. we take care of all beings by opening our hearts to all beings, not only our families. Of course, our families, direct families are important, but they are not the only important beings. All beings deserve the same kind of kindness and love, and we should extend our hearts to include all beings of all shapes and colors, of all sizes, from the smallest to the biggest, um, that they live in the oceans or in the sky, no difference. We should not think that because they live in the ocean, for some reason, we have the right to hurt them. Fish do feel pain, and fish are no different than us. They also have their families. They love to be free, love freedom. So when we just like scoop them out of the oceans, that is extremely cruel, and we do not notice it. We do not. We believe it is okay, that it is normal, that we need to do it maybe for our survival. But no, that is just human ignorance and mistake. I'm sorry for saying that way. I don't like saying it that way, but sometimes, yes, have to say it directly. At the same time, humans have a lot of wisdom, and they've the possibility of change. So all of us have a possibility of change. We just need to start somewhere. And I know I often repeat it, but if you're not yet vegan, please check out Veganuary, the 31 days challenge to be vegan for 1 month. You can do it on any month of the year, basically any day you can start. And then from then on, you'll receive 31, I believe, emails and some books to read, digital books, wonderful books with recipes and introduction to the vegan lifestyle and what one needs to do, not need to do, all the hidden ingredients in everywhere that contains animal products that we are not aware of. So yes, that is one thing. So yeah, it's a heart that refuses to harm, basically. And yeah, it's like basically it's kindness. It's what we do when convenience and compassion meet, and compassion wins. So it's like when we have like a path to choose. One is maybe the easier path, the familiar path. One is the more maybe kinder path, but harder maybe a little bit path. And then we know which one we choose. So because, of course, in this world, to be vegan is not necessarily easy for most people, because most of it is the social aspect of it, that one wants to basically belong, so to speak. And when one goes to a restaurant with friends, one doesn't wish to like to be different than the others, what the other consume. But that's the wrong way of seeing. The right way of seeing is on the contrary. When one goes to the restaurant with friends, one can show the example, be the example. And the other our friends, if they are really our friends, they will try to understand and even in front of us, they will be ashamed of eating animal products. And they will maybe try at least vegetarian, if not vegan also, at least when they are with us. And maybe we can also take them to vegan restaurants and show them a bit what vegan lifestyle is all about. So it is difficult and not difficult at the same time. Maybe the family is the most difficult, maybe, because maybe families often have hard time to understand it. But same thing, they also at the end they not only they understand it, but then they accept it at the end, maybe at the very end. But at least at one time they accept it, and they even try to change themselves. Yeah, so we also always need to ask, does what our action aligns with our values? And that's one of the most important part, and often, more often than not, they do not. So if we imagine two pieces of a puzzle that needs to fit together, if they do not fit together, then something is wrong. One is alignment, one is like our values, our ethics. So maybe we need to to realign our values, our actions. Maybe we just need to rotate it 90 degrees or 180 degrees, and then suddenly it fits. Maybe we never thought about aligning this way, but that is the idea: is aligning the actions with our values. Yeah, and we choose the path that lets us sleep peacefully, knowing that we cause no unnecessary harm. And it's something that we do daily, basically. It's being the kind of person that really wants to help all beings, help the animals, help the humans, help the planet, help ourselves, help our own health, our family, help all beings. Just helping, being kind. That's all. That's all that we really want. And yeah, so we extend the cycle of care. We do not draw lines between beings. There's no us and them, and we discussed this a little bit already. And it doesn't stop at family or community or even species. It's all beings, including nature, even things that are not nature. For example, when we are angry, often we close the door very like loudly, or we throw like the all the glasses on the ground, and we make big scenes, and it makes a lot of noise, and this is very not nice for the door, not nice for the glass. So we broke a glass, for example, but that glass served a purpose, and now it doesn't serve a purpose, except making a big mess. And the door also, it makes a big loud noise, maybe because it doesn't like it. And yeah, so I know this maybe sounds a bit far-fetched, but we can extend our kindness even to so-called material things that maybe we believe have no consciousness. Yeah, even to the artificial intelligence that we now have, we can talk kindly to those beings, wise beings, that they have soul or not. Doesn't matter. We are kind because that's who we are. That's what we do. We are kind not because we We have to, but because it's our way of being, because we want to. So we extended to our circle of care to ourselves, of course. We are very important to our loved ones, evidently, to our communities, neighbors and strangers alike, and ultimately to all beings. It's also, it's the practice of including more and more categories of beings into our circle of care, circle of compassion. It's the recognition that suffering does not end with us and with our loved ones, but actually it extends to anyone who suffers, makes us suffer. Suffering is universal, and the more we expand our consciousness, the more we expand our mind, the more our heart expands, the more we will feel compassionate, the more we will so-called go on the spiritual path. The spiritual path is, a lot of it is about kindness. Some would say maybe half of it, others would say all of it. So spiritual path is maybe a topic unto itself, but it's about, a lot of it is about kindness and compassion to all beings. And in a way that's one of the goals, if not the goal, is to become one with all beings, become one with the source of all that is. Some called that source God, other the Lord. Really doesn't matter what name we give that source, but that source is basically life, is consciousness, awareness that exists in all lives. So when we expand our consciousness to all beings, then we become more spiritual, one could say. If we read all the spiritual scriptures, they all speak about that. They all speak about the importance of kindness, of being, of loving kindness to our neighbors. No, isn't that true? All we have to do is go for it. So veganism is inner peace, is living in alignment with our own heart, from knowing that the choice that we make do not cause any suffering. That is could be called the peace of alignment, or aligning with peace. We talked about it already. When our actions match our values, then we are really doing it. We are living with integrity, with harmony, and with wholeness. And and that will reflect also on us. People will be kind to us, and even if they are not, it's not because of that we do it, but usually it's a byproduct. And so that's the last slide. That's what it is. Just there's no arguments, no debates, no pressure, no claim of perfection or demand of purity for purity. Just one simple truth. If we can live without harming others, why wouldn't we? Please let us reflect on that question very deeply. This can be the question, in self-dialogue. I often talk about self-dialogue and the importance of it, and all the categories that we can have. Maybe let's ask ourselves this question again. If we can live without harming others, why wouldn't we? If we can live, well, we can all, nowadays, we can live without harming others. And others, of course, include all beings, humans and animal people, and also the fish and the bees and the cows and the pigs, and the dogs and the cats and the birds and the insects and the trees and flowers. And when we don't need to harm any being and we don't need to harm them, why couldn't we do it? Is there anything that blocks us from doing it? What is blocking us from doing it? Are we okay with harming others just for having something in return? Most of it is just for our gustative enjoyment, but meat doesn't have any flavor really. It's all about spices anyway, all about seasoning and spices. So we can make plant-based meat to taste just as good, if not better, if not infinitely better, because there's no suffering involved, than the animal-based food. So it is so veganism is the practice of kindness when kindness is possible. It's choosing compassion when we have the choice. It's listening to the heart's wisdom that suffering matters. All suffering everywhere, for everyone, for every being. And ultimately just simply being kind. And and basically that's everything that matters. So thank you for listening. That was a long presentation. Something that really talks to me. I hope you got something out of it. Maybe some concepts. Maybe this question, the last question that we can ask in self-dialogue practices or during the day. Such a beautiful question and such a powerful question to ask. And from everyone, everybody can ask this question. Doesn't matter if one is vegan or not. Just to kind of evolve. We are trying to evolve as a species, and we are at a very crucial stage in our evolution, in our civilization evolution. This is really one of the most important inflection point in our civilization, where we can go several ways. And I pray that we go in the right path, because we have so much to offer as mankind. We can do so much incredible things. Not only with technology. I would say that technology maybe is advancing faster than our heart technology. But we try to advance the heart as to make it in alignment with the speed of advancing the heart, with the speed of advancing technology. Because we could make this world heaven. We could really make it heaven. Even now, without the issues, we could still make it heaven. But we need each one of us to do our share. We must take action now. We cannot wait any longer. So please, no more procrastination. It's okay for a couple of days to think it over, maybe weeks, but I would say that's enough. How longer? Many people wait for many years before just making a simple change, and then wondering why it took so long. I will not say that. It's always good to have change, but it can come much faster, and this world needs us to go faster. We don't have time really now. It's time for a change, for all of us to change, to become what we really can become. Divine beings, all of us are divine beings already. All we need to do is remove the veils out of our heart, because we are already beautiful divine beings. There isn't even one single person or being like animal people who is not divine. And yeah, so now is the time. Once we become more advanced spiritually, and by spiritually I mean really in a kindness-oriented way, then we can accomplish 10 times more, 100 times more than we can today. Much faster. Imagine that all the countries in the world come together as one to advance humanity, to advance technology. As they say, only the sky is the limit. We could probably create, go and colonize the solar system fairly easily if we all work together and not each one in their own side. And it's a beautiful adventure. I'm a big fan, of science fiction, and like Star Trek is one of my favorite series. I love Star Trek. All of them, really, from the first one to I've not seen all of them, but maybe most of them, and except the newest ones. And they are quite amazing, like Captain Picard or Captain Janeway. They are wonderful, good-hearted beings, and with a lot of wisdom. And I hope to think that when we will have such starships, and I believe that we will have such in the future, that humanity will be mostly a plant-based or vegan society. I'm almost sure of it. And it would be wonderful then to go on those starships and discover the other planets and inhabited planets and whatnot. I would love to work on such a starship one day. So so thank you very much. And on that science fiction note, let's go to our daily practice. Just one moment, please. Okay, so after this long presentation, probably all went to sleep already. So let's go with the practice. So we start with our daily prayer, as always. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will show gratitude for my many blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to all living beings. May today be a joyful, peaceful, blissful, and magical day. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all beings, to all humans, to all animals. And finally, peace to ourselves, to our own mind. Om. So now we will go to the gratitude practice, where we just are grateful for anything that we have, for the people in our life, for the animal people in our life as well, for the dogs and cats that we may have or not, or had. So yeah, so let's do that. It's a wonderful, wonderful practice. So let's start now. Just for a couple of minutes. Okay, so let's go now to do our physical exercise of the morning. As always, feel free to to do something that you do on your own. This is something that I just propose. It's a very easy practice just to unloosen the joints, just for a couple of minutes. So let's start with our usual Sufi rolls. It's like coming with the chest forward and back. And the other way. Okay, come back to center. And then a big bear. Inhale. Exhale around. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn to one side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Inhale, center. Exhale, the other side. Inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, turn a bit more. Come back to center. One hand on the mat, one hand up. Just the other way. Come back to center. Hands on the shoulders. Inhale up. Exhale down. The other way. Make some wrist gymnastic. You can open your hands rapidly. Like some dancing. Yeah, so let's now extend the legs and just stretch them. Make them crack. Can turn the ankle from like we did with the hands, but with the ankles. Then bring one leg to you and then turn to that side. And the other leg. And then put your legs in diamond shape. Like this, and just fall forward. Do not force, do not push. And come back. So this concludes our very short physical exercise practice. So when you do your own practice, of course you can take more time. You can make it like a quarter of an hour or even half an hour and really do hard stuff. But it's a choice. You can also do the simple one like we did now. That's okay. And now let's move to relaxation. So we're going to do the 61 points of relaxation that we did yesterday. So again, we will do it in the same way as yesterday. So one time I will present it, and one time we'll do it together, and one time you can do it on your own. It's very easy to remember, but one just needs to remember it. So let's do it. So just close your eyes. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders, your arms. Relax your back, your front, your abdomen, navel, torso. Relax your hips, legs, feet. Relax your hands, arms. Relax the top of the head, back of the head. Relax your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, nose, nostrils, nose, ears. Relax your tongue and your lips, and your chin and your jaw, your throat. Relax your entire face, and your entire head, and your entire body. Take a couple of deep breaths. And let's start. So bring all your awareness to the space between the eyebrows. Imagine there's a beautiful blue star there. And move that beautiful blue star everywhere on the entire journey. So each point that you are going to visit, that star will follow it. So bring all your awareness to the pit of the throat, the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, pit of the throat, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, tip of the left thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, pit of the throat, the center of the chest, the right chest, center of the chest, the left chest, center of the chest, the navel, lower abdomen, right hip joint, right knee, right ankle, tip of the right big toe, tip of the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Back to the right ankle, right knee, right hip joint, lower abdomen, left hip joint, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, tip of the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Back to left ankle, left knee, left hip joint, lower abdomen, navel, center of the chest, bit of the throat, and the space between the eyebrows. And relax. And now we'll do it all of us on our own. So it should not take too long, like 2 or 3 minutes. So let's start now. And slowly open your eyes. So that concludes the relaxation part. Before going to the pranayama, let's take a couple of minutes off. So take a 5 minutes break. So, okay, so let's start pranayama. So as always, we will do the first controlled breath practice, where we breathe from in and out in a controlled way for a certain number of seconds. So we start with the usual 1-1. That means we breathe in for each second and breathe out for each second. So we will do 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. If that's too much, you can do 3 seconds in, out, or 2 even. Do it as at your own capacity. I think 4 should be fine for most people, and it's fairly safe. And yeah, so the important thing is that it should be silent. It should be diaphragmatic. Should be without or minimal pauses between inhalation and exhalation, and it should be without jerks and inhale, stop, inhale, stop, inhale, stop, and then so on. So it should be very, very smooth. And one should breathe from the nose. So breathe in from the nose and out from the nose. Why is this so important to breathe from the nose? Because the nose is made for breathing, and the mouth is made for speaking and eating. Of course, there are exceptions when we talk. Often when we take air from the mouth, it's like natural. But in the practice and in everyday life, best is to breathe from the nose. Also at night, it is very good to breathe from the nose. It's very healthy, extremely healthy to breathe from the nose. The nose is a filtering conduit. It filters microbes, it filters dust, allergens, and everything. And the mouth doesn't do that. The mouth is just let everything pass, so that's not very healthy. So the mouth, I mean, it has of course some reason to be that we can breathe from the mouth, like it's an emergency when the nose is stuck, when we need more air. Then we breathe from the mouth. That's okay, of course. But the nose is really the apparatus that has been provided by nature for breathing. Both breathing in and out, not only in. Sometimes we say in from the nose and out from the mouth. I don't quite understand it. Why not in and out from the nose? That's what it's made for. And yeah, it's really a scientifically valid thing to do, to breathe from the nose for many reasons. Well, one is, as we said, it's like a conduit, it's a purifying conduit. And one maybe that is less well known, that it is when we breathe in from the nose, there's a lot more nitric oxide that comes into our lungs from the pores in the nose, and there's very little of it when we breathe in from the mouth, maybe 10 to 15 times less. And this nitric oxide is dilating the vessels, so it helps us to breathe better, and that is really very important. So that's that's some reasons why we breathe from the nose. Even when we exercise, it's a good idea to breathe from the nose. And if we need to breathe from the mouth, maybe we are doing too much and we should slow down and actually try to breathe from the nose at all time. Just basically a retraining of our practice. It will not make us less good at what we do. On the contrary, it will probably make us better in the long run. Yeah, so also in yoga, so we need also to breathe in from the nose. And one of the best practices um, for calming our systems and also for the nitric oxide production is the Brahmari. Is what we do just before self-dialogue, is the practice of humming. Is this stimulates the pores in the nose, and then nitric oxide becomes much more available, and that's why it's also very calming and very beautiful practice. Also, if you have trouble to sleep, you can try this for a couple of minutes before going to sleep. So it will calm us down because it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is wonderful. So anyway, let's do the controlled breathing now. Again, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, with all the quality of breath that we discussed of. So let's start now for a couple of minutes. And slowly open your eyes. So now we're going to do the 1-2 breathing. So breathing in for X seconds and out from 2X seconds. And we will do 4-8. So breathing in for 4 seconds and out from 8 seconds. This should be fairly safe for most people, but it could be a bit too much. So if that's too much, go to 3-6, and if that's too much, then to 2-4. Same quality of breath. Let's start. And slowly come back. So now we we move to the Nadeshodanam practice, Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing. There's many names. So we're going to do the third type, as we discussed earlier. So the 10 first sessions were about the first type. The 10 session after were about the second type, and now the 10 after that would be first type. Then there are three main types. So that way we have time to practice them and to really absorb the technique. It's very easy, but it's always good to repeat, especially every day. So just hands and Vishnu Mudra, so bend the index and middle finger, block the right and left nostrils with the thumb and the index, not index, with the ring finger. And so the pattern is very easy. So imagine we block from the right, And then we exhale from left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left. Switch, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left. That is one round. Second round would start from the opposite nostril, same thing, and third round would again from the first nostril. That's it. And between rounds, one can have a couple of seconds of rest, like 10, 15 seconds. So we will do one time, one round together, and then you will do 3 rounds on your own. So again, the breathing should not be too long, not too short. Same qualities should be silent. Of course, here it's not necessarily possible with the blocked nose, because one nostril will be blocked usually more than the other. That's okay, but I mean we can breathe from it usually, just a little bit more force. If you feel dizzy, of course, stop immediately. But yeah, it should be fairly easy because there's no retention. We do not use any retention in those practices. Retention can have their purpose, but what we do is without any retention in all of our practices. We keep it simple. No need to complicate things. Retention is also not for everybody. Like pregnant women should not practice any retention of breath. And one can get dizzy in these retentions. So it's better to keep it at a minimum unless you have like a teacher that really knows this and can direct it, but otherwise it's not really required. So let's start. So inhale, exhale, inhale to start. Block right, exhale from left. Inhale from left, exhale left, inhale left, exhale left, inhale left, switch, exhale right, inhale right, exhale right, inhale right, exhale right, inhale right, and relax. Maybe feel a bit of tongue tingling in the body. So let's do this practice on our own. So again, 3 rounds, and take maybe 10 to 15 seconds rest between each round. Yeah, so let's start. and slowly open your eyes. So now we move to the primary practice, which is the humming bee, like closing the mouth and making the sound, like inhaling from the nose, then This is very good for one's health, for relaxing. It's amazing for clearing the lungs with nitric oxide. So it's a wonderful practice before meditation, basically. So let's do that for a couple of minutes. Don't follow me. Do at your own pace, of course. Choose your own tones. If you choose lower, then you will feel it more like vibrating in the chest. If you put higher, then it has different qualities. Then you can test on your own. So let's do that. And slowly stop. So this can be done just for a couple of minutes. No need to make it too long. But it's very beneficial practice. So let's move now to the next practice, which is self-dialogue. As always, I will just introduce it. Because again, I don't know who is listening. It's not like in a physical retreat where I can see everybody and know who is listening. So here I just repeat myself a little bit. So self-dialogue is to talk with ourselves in a positive and good way, happy way, joyful way, wise way. Because often, so that's the difference between self-dialogue and meditation. In self-dialogue, we talk, and in meditation, we are silent, really silent, in our mind. So it's like one, we follow the thoughts, and the other, we don't follow the thoughts. So it's two different, completely different practices. They are complementary. It's not that well, the main one is meditation, but self-dialogue is, both of them are important. One is more about reflection, and one is more about concentration and mindfulness. So, why do we do that? Because first, thoughts are important. They're very important. Whatever we think for a long time, we will start speaking them and we'll start acting upon them. So we need to be very careful about what we think. We need our thoughts to be very pure. And self-dialogue helps with that. So, yes, and then for meditation, it's good for the mind to like pre-talk. We let the mind talk during self-dialogue so that it can remain silent during meditation. That's also one of the main goals of this practice, to do before meditation. Just a couple of minutes, no need for more, usually. But most of the time we don't do that. Most of the time when we meditate or practice like meditation, we jump right into meditation. And then we may be surprised by so many thoughts coming in, and we're a bit overwhelmed. So that's why it's a very good idea to first talk with the mind, because talking is the natural way of the mind. That's how it is created. It's a thinking machine, basically. It's a thinking computer machine, kind of. Very, very advanced, much more advanced than anything that we have currently as computers. This computer is just awesome. So we talk for ourselves, and there are different big categories that we can talk with ourselves. I'll just rapidly go through them again. So the first one is prayer. Prayer can be either pre-made or own-made. You can make your own prayers. No need to follow any scriptures. If you want to, you can. Other thing is gratefulness. Is a self-dialogue, wonderful one, where we are grateful for everything and everything. And there's never a never-ending way of being grateful. And it is said that gratefulness is the mother of all of all virtues. Because it makes us more humble, because we see that we are not alone. We depend on others, on the bounty of others to thrive, to survive in this world, to be happy. So we are grateful for everything, for our teachers, family members, pets, and clothes, food, etc. So that is wonderful. The other setup could be affirmations that one repeats, like often affirmations just for something that one wishes, maybe. Some positive affirmations of the day that can be quite helpful. And other, so those are like usual talk, and then we have more about contemplative talks where we discuss higher truths with ourselves, like the usual "Who am I?" One of the main self-inquiry question that one can ponder about. The idea is not to have an answer; it's more for kind of a pondering about it, wondering what does it mean. Who am I? It's a wonderful question. It's the kind of the basis of spiritual practice, is to search for the answer to that question of who am I. in truthfully, without ambiguity, like through inner experience. Um, it's not something that comes immediately. It takes time to develop this, to have the experiences, related experiences. But one can already, one can in any case just, wonder about it. Like when we look in the mirror, who are we looking at? When we look at our own body, what is this body? When we look at others' bodies, what are they? It's a wonderful question. We don't ask ourselves very often, I think. Are we really this body, or is there something more to it? That maybe we are not immediately aware, but that may exist. Yes, this body is wonderful and extremely helpful and important for our spiritual journey. As I already said, even angels and higher beings long to have a physical body, because in this physical body one can advance in the spiritual sense much faster than in heaven even. Why? Because here we have so much struggle that is kind of forces us to become the best version of ourselves in some sense. In heaven, it's always lovely, so maybe it's harder to practice there because it is so beautiful. So we are very distracted by the beauty of heaven. There are many degrees of heaven, not just one heaven. And if we want to go to the highest heaven, which is our source, where we came from, then we have to go through lower heavens, many lower heavens, many different states of consciousness. And those are those are wonderful, but maybe sometimes too wonderful. You know, when we are in a beautiful place, even on earth, like we are at awe with the sceneries, maybe all we want to do is just do nothing, just watch it, be there, and enjoy the view. And basically, we don't want to think about anything else, which is good. I mean, it's not a bad thing. But if we want to advance spiritually, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of struggle. And this world has plenty of them. So this physical world has definitely a purpose, to become the best versions of ourselves. It's like an oven where we are cooked, and this world is like an oven where we are cooked to perfection. I mean, that's the goal, at least. Doesn't mean it happens every time, but that's the idea. And maybe those who are raw, so maybe another picture would be a dehydrator. This word is a dehydrator. I'm not sure if that would work. And then we are dehydrated into our best versions. Okay. Probably better similes, but I'm not in a good creative moment now. Anyway, so yes, so who am I? A big question to ask, to ponder about. And also the opposite is very good, like who am I not? For example, who am I not? If we really understand the truth, we will start to know that we are not we are not the body, not neither the physical body, not there are many types of bodies, but we are none of them. They are important because we need them, but we are not them. Like we, meaning the deepest part of our soul, one could say, the best part of our awareness, of our heart. Doesn't matter how one sees it, these are just words. We are none of this. We are pure awareness, pure consciousness. In a way, we are distracted in this world, so that's why we do not see it. All those distractions are making us going outwards instead of inwards. That's why meditation is very important. Because through meditation, we start to go inwards. Like going against the grain, because this world always wants us to go outwards. So for the first time in meditation, we do the opposite process. It's like we have maybe a river, and we want to see from where it flows, then we need to go against the flow of the river to the source. But it's easier to just let it be, just go with the river flow. But if you want to know the source, we need to put a bit more effort for it. So yeah, so who am I not? Not these bodies. I'm not my profession. I'm not a male or a female. I do not have a gender. Ultimately, yeah, I am. I mean, when I say I mean every one of us. Like we are consciousness. We are beautiful consciousness, amazing, powerful consciousness. We are not our professions, we are not our hobbies, we are not even our habits. But all those makes us who we are in this world. Help us to be in this world. So of course, they are important. I'm not saying that professions are not important. That's not at all what I am saying. Or that we are, that we are a man or a woman is an important trait. Of course. And it's just that ultimately we are not that. It's more in the ultimate sense, in our awareness sense, deepest sense. Okay, so that is the contemplative. Then there is the self-counseling, like what do I want? What do I want in life, especially, and how can I achieve it? So that's a wonderful question to ask and to really get right. Well, what do we want? What do you want? What do I want? Each one of us will have different wants, but at the same time, we have also similar wants. The ultimate wants of self-realization and discovering who am I believe everyone has that, but not everyone has developed that want in a sense. One is not maybe ready to ask that question. But that's okay. That's perfectly okay. And then, it could be things from this world. So to become better artist, better musician, maybe better, maybe if you play boards, then a board game player, better one, or sports, or politicians, anything that you, or doctor, anything that you wish to become better at. So either profession or hobbies. So that's also a want, but a valid and good want, as long as it is positive and beneficial to oneself and others. and the animals. So wants are very good to know what do we want. Then if we really know what we want, the chances of it happening is much greater. It's like we increase basically the probability of it happening. Once we are clear in our mind what is what we want. I want I want a vegan world. I want a kind, compassionate world, but that's also something that I am not in control of, only partly. I am partly in control by what I am doing myself. I am contributing through my actions. So that's the way that I can contribute to something that I want, but I don't have control over. But something we do have control. Partly, at least, if we want to become better artist or better musician, we can practice more or better. Both of them is important. We can become more one-pointed. If we want to be better at meditation, concentration, then we need to meditate every day. Very important to practice every single day. Whatever we want to do, we need to practice every single day, even for 3 minutes, but we should not skip it. No matter what, basically, if we really want what we want. So we need to be self-disciplined. Yeah, so that is the part of self-counseling. And then the last part is friendliness with mind. Friendliness, so being friendly with the mind, just a chatting with the mind about anything and that one wish to talk with our best friend. And yeah, we should consider our mind as at least one of our best friends, and then our mind will help us tremendously. It's not very helpful to scold the mind, because we are the mind in some sense. At least we are using the mind, and the mind is ours. It's like we received an instrument, and it's for us to use it to the best of its abilities. But it's our mind, and we need to, I don't know if we can say train it, but to develop it in a positive way, through good habits, through self-discipline, through meditation, through virtues, kindness, etc. So yes, so that's self-dialogue. So let's do that now for about, we'll do it for 12 minutes. You choose the subject and you discuss it with yourself. who let's take 5-minute breaks before the meditation. So let's do a bit of meditation. We will not do too long today. So we will do just 3 for 6, meaning we meditate for 3 minutes, then 4 minutes, then 6 minutes. Again, with same instructions. Always trying to be stable and comfortable before we start to meditate. And then during the first couple of moments, then one can of course fidget a little bit to really find a good position, Once one has found it, then one should stay there as much as possible without moving. And then one can do a body scan, rapid body scan from feet to head, and see which part is tense, and just relax it, because relaxation is very important. And then one can start the practice. And then going to do the breath awareness, just being aware of the breath at the nostrils. So if you don't feel anything, just breathe in loudly, and feel where you feel the breath. That way it will be easier to feel it when you practice. Of course, the meditation itself should be silent. This is just for 1 or 2 times to feel where one feels the breath, and then one is silent, of course. So one just be aware of the breath. To start with, it's a good idea to count the breath. So when we inhale, exhale, it's 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then go back to 1, and so on, until the mind is very calm. And then one can remove the counting. If then it's not okay, then one can start again the counting, and so on, just to be more stable. And the thoughts, of course, we should just watch them and not follow them as much as possible. It's very hard often. We are tempted to follow them. It's like temptations all the time. But in meditation, we try to not follow our thoughts, contrary to the self-dialogue practice. And that's it. And try to keep your neck, head, and trunk aligned. You can sit on the chair if that's better. And we're going to do it just for 3 minutes. So that's an opportunity to really go deep, to really focus 100% as much as possible, because we know it will not go for very long, so we can really give our best. When we have if we meditate for 3 hours, then the mind can think, oh, I have time, maybe I can start talk now, and then it's like kind of procrastinations, subtle procrastination. But no, we have 3 minutes. We really need to be the best versions of ourselves in these 3 minutes. And that means, in this case, for meditation, to give it our whole heart and to be really in it, and try not to follow any thoughts. Doesn't mean to suppress it, just let them be. Let them come, let them go. So let's start. relax for 30 seconds to a minute, and then we pass to 4 minutes. Okay, let's pass to 4 minutes. relax a little bit. And prepare for the last meditation of the morning of 6 minutes. So let's start now. So that concludes the session of this morning. So to recap what we talked about in the initial presentation, so today was about the aspects of kindness related to the vegan lifestyle, which for me is the main reason really why we should be or follow the vegan lifestyle, just because it's kindness in action, one could say. It's all about kindness to all beings. And we can always ask ourselves, do we really need to harm another being for us to be happy? I mean, most would agree that no. And especially when we do not need to. Everything that we do to the animal people is completely unnecessary. There's no reason for it other than money for the dairy industry itself and or the animal industry itself. It's all about money and power, and maybe domination. Maybe some maybe to dominate other beings, feel that we are superior to them, not being humble enough, not being modest enough, saying that all beings are one. And yeah, it is not necessary. So there's absolutely no reason for us to consume any animal products. But also, we do not need to wear clothes made out of animals like leather or fur. This is extremely cruel too. We do not need to hunt animals. Sometimes people give as an excuse that we hunt because we need to help nature. Nature doesn't need our help, at least not in that sense. Just ridiculous. Just an excuse to hunt and kill and torture and abuse beings, lovely beings. Yeah, and also we put beings in cages. That's not very kind. So the vegan lifestyle is also against that kind of unkindness, to liberate all beings from all cages, both metaphoric and physical. Yeah, so kindness is everything. Kindness is, we are kindness. We are supposed to be kindness. Our hearts is made out of the fabric of kindness. But we've veiled it under a very thick veil. And all we need to do is remove that veil, and we will see how wonderful and kind we are, and that we can be. And as we discussed, there are two ways of harming beings. One is direct, one is indirect. One can add also not only in action but also in thoughts and words. That's also harming beings. But okay, mostly we talk about actions, and direct action is when we hurt other beings, humans or animals directly, like voluntarily, like we hurt them. And it's of course not necessary. If we imagine we kill an animal and then we eat that animal, then that would be direct violence. At least if we do that, we know what we do. I would say it's we are conscious of what we have done and what we are doing, And not that it excuses it. I do not, of course, that's not good. It's violence, but at least one is aware of that, and one basically accept that. Maybe one should still change, of course, but there's a big difference with the indirect one, because most of the killings, most of the suffering and the abuse is from the indirect aspect of it. Direct one, very few are killing animals to eat them. Very few. Most of us are buying it in the supermarket, already pre-made, or in the butchers store, or the fisheries. Or we buy milk from, again, we ourselves are not, of course, taking the milk. We let everything be done by the dairy industry, or honey from the bee keepers, or eggs from the chicken farms, or egg farms. But we we let them do all the violence and abuse and torture, and we basically reap the benefit of not knowing what happens and just enjoy the so-called food, which is not food, but okay. And so that's indirect violence, and it can be, I believe, it's even worse than direct violence, because we kind of contributing to that fully, but we don't want to know about it. So we close our eyes and ears and hearts to the suffering of all beings that we cause, but it's not necessary. It just we let others do the violence because we don't want to be part of it. But if we don't want to be part of it, why do we consume it? If nobody would consume any animal products, nobody would have to hurt them, to kill them, to whatever they do to them. So we are 100% part of it when we consume animal products, and we should be aware of it. And if we are aware of it, do we accept it? And if we accept it, then fine. What can we do? But most of us would not accept it. I don't know the percentage, but if we really think about it, and we say, if you ask somebody, do you accept that somebody causes violence for you or kill for you? I mean, most people would say no, of course not, especially related to humans. But animals are no different. Just that we compartmentalize them, we create an artificial division between humans and animals. But we should not forget we are just one animal. We are a species. We are no better than any other species. Yes, we have strong cognitive power. We can invent things. We are very smart, but I would not say that we are wise. Being smart and wise are not the same thing. Wise includes compassion and kindness. Smart is just knowing what to do in order to get what one wants. So, for example, one can hunt smartly, one can put traps smartly. But is that kind of compassionate? Of course not. That's very cool. So being smart and wise is not the same thing. Completely different. Animals are wise, and yeah, but we can be wise. We can be very wise, we have the potential of being very wise, but um, we are on the path towards it, and it's a choice of what we choose in our life. Do we choose to be smart, or do we choose to be wise? Do we choose violence, or do we choose kindness? Um, I mean, one can be smart and wise at the same time. It's not one does not exclude the others, of course. Um, Usually, when one is wise, one has some kind of smartness. Um, but yeah, so that's what we discussed in this presentation, which really touches my heart a lot, and is the main reason why I am vegan and will always be vegan until the end of my life. Um, it's just unthinkable for me to go back, for example. I know some go back, but it's mostly because one was not really, one did not understand the connection between the vegan lifestyle and kindness and ethics. It's more about the health, which is very good to go vegan because health is very good. But then usually one also start to understand other causes, other reasons, but maybe sometimes not. One believes that a health issue is because of the vegan lifestyle, which is in most cases not. One just needs to find the right balance. If one has an issue, just go to a nutritionist, plant-based nutritionist, plant-based doctors, lifestyle doctors. But usually it's not because of the food. It's not eating dead flesh that makes us heal anything. Possibly it's the microbiome that needs a little bit of time to change from the animal-based microbiome to a plant-based microbiome. Maybe it takes a couple of weeks, maybe, or days. And yeah, it's mostly also habits, and I would say probably it's mostly social pressure that one feels a bit excluded from the community because one eats a bit differently, but just find a new community, a vegan community, a plant-based community, and there are many such communities nowadays in the world, so it's quite easy to find and to go maybe to restaurants together. That's wonderful. To go to vegan restaurants together is a wonderful experience, and the discussion is very nice because it's all about kindness and compassion and limited gossip. So yeah, so that's it. So let's end the practice with our favorite mantra. This is my favorite mantra. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all living beings, to all animals, to all humans, all insects, all fish, all birds, all trees, all nature. And finally, peace to ourselves, to our own mind. Om. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I wish you to be happy always. And I hope you something in here sounded right, maybe. And I hope it was positive practice, that it helps both the humans and the animals live more happily together, and yeah, for nature to thrive. That would be wonderful. So thank you. Hope to see you soon, and bye bye.